and welcome to a Wow embossing powder video. I'm Christine and today we're going to be playing around with Seth Apter's new Foraged Relics quad, which has some beautiful colours in, called Copper Veil, Olive Algae, Honey Lichen and Coal Flare. So we're going to do a different technique that you may not have seen before, but did you know you can use your embossing powders with a glue stick and create some really fun polka dot kind of backgrounds? So this technique is super duper simple and you can use any glue stick that you have on hand. I've done it with a Pritt stick, a UHU stick. I've also used sticks too with the smaller kind of glue sticks as well. Whichever one you have works perfectly. You just need any sort of glue stick. And if you have the multiple different sizes, because you can get smaller ones, you can create a varied polka dot pattern as well, which is fantastic. So basically, for this technique, you want to start by creating your polka doodle background. Now, if you are a little bit slower with crafting, you may want to work a couple of polka dots at a time, or maybe you're planning on using a really wacky colour scheme, and you may want to work separately for the different colours so you don't get any contamination. But for this one, because all of the beautiful colours in Seth Apter's Foraged Relics quad are all on the greeny, goldy, browny, muted tones kind of line, I don't think it matters if we do get a little bit of one of the other colours on a different spot. So we're actually going to start off by making our entire background, and when you're using a nice juicy kind of glue stick, the glue stays wet for quite a while, so it works really nicely for this technique. So all you're going to do is wind out a little bit of your glue stick, press it onto your cardstock and twist it. And there you have your first polka dot. You can just about see it there. And you're just going to continue that across your whole panel. Don't worry if it gets a bit blobby, because actually with these powders in particular, that blobby kind of effect works really nicely because it adds in extra mixed media kind of texture to them. But you just want to use your glue stick all over your background panel, creating your gorgeous polka dots on here. And they don't have to be perfect circles either. You know, you can twist it a little bit off centre if you want. Some of the ones that I've done in the past, you've almost got like a dry brushed version as well. You know, there's sort of marks that you may get if you dry brushed a kind of polka dot onto a card as well. But there we've got our complete background of gluey polka dots. So I'm just going to clean up my mat and then I'll come back to you. So once we've got any sticky glue out of the way, we can bring in our background panel and pick our first colour. So I think we're going to start with, let's go with Olive Algae as our first colour. Now these mixed media kind of powders have so many different particles and glitter and all sorts of different sized bits and pieces in them. So you want to make sure you give them a really good shake. And also, when you are working with a mixed media powder, sometimes the larger particles tend to fall out first. And when you're doing a technique like this, where you're using some thick gloopy kind of glue, whether it is a glue stick or whether it's texture paste or something, those large particles, if they fall out first, are going to really want to stick onto this, rather than when you're using your sticky ink pad, you can kind of brush them off if you get too many of them, or add a few more on if not enough stuck. But with this, if we have those large particles in there, when you start tapping, they often want to all fall out first. So if I sprinkle, you can see mostly just the large ultra high black particles have gone onto there. So if we don't want so much black all over our first polka dot, we can tip some of it out first and then quickly dump a little bit more on to kind of not get so many of the black particles all on our first polka dot. And then once we've covered that dot, we can tip this off, and you can see now we only really have the black pieces that stuck on initially with the rest of the beautiful colour around. And when we're working with this as well, I'm not worried if I get a tiny bit of the other powders. As I said before, they all work really nicely together, so if we get tiny contaminations across our polka dots, it doesn't matter, it looks beautiful in the end result. And we want to make sure we have a few different polka dots of the same colours. So I'm going to do a little bit of the sprinkling to get some of those larger particles out, and then I'm going to tip it back in the pot and then kind of get some of the smaller particles to go on. And I'm also going to do this one in this corner as well. So we've now got 3 polka dots done in our beautiful Olive Algae. Okay, next colour, let's go with Copper Veil, and we'll give that a good shake as well. And we'll add 3 more polka dots of this colour. So I'm just going to tip all over this one first, get the excess off, and I'm going to go for this one I think, and get the excess off, and then I think I'm going to go for this one here, and then tip the excess off. So we've now got 3 polka dots in our gorgeous copper veil. Okay, next colour, let's go Honey Lichin. Give that a really good shake. I love this like fluorescent green glitter that's in a lot of these powders as well. It's absolutely beautiful. So let's do some onto this one. This one has kind of like coppery ultra high in there. So again, we want to kind of avoid it being totally covered in ultra high particles. So we've got that one there. I feel like we might do 4 because we've got a few half polka dots. So we'll do 4 in this colour and do a couple of the smaller polka dots that are coming off the edges. And then I think this one here. And then tip off the excess. Okay, so we've got our 3rd colour on there now, which is our Honey Lichin. And then the 4th colour in this quad is called Coal Flare. Absolutely beautiful, this one. It even has like purples in it when you heat it. It's really gorgeous. This one also has black ultra high in it as well. So again, when you're sprinkling, if you don't want too much black to feature on your card, just sort of gently sprinkle on a few of the black particles and then try and tip a lot of them out of the pot and then go for more of the body of the powder to get the mixture of things on there. So you can kind of see there's not too many ultra high particles stuck in any of the spots really. There's a nice mixture that gives the beautiful effects of the different powders, but there's not too many of the large particles. So we can tip off the excess, and then we can bring in our heat tool and start to emboss our gorgeous background. So when you're working with this kind of technique, because we've put the glue on there and it's still wet, it's going to bubble up and give a really cool effect. You can wait for it to dry if you want to, and you get a slightly smoother effect, but actually it works really nicely with this mixed media style of embossing powder to just heat it straight away whilst it's wet. It gives a really cool bubbled up kind of effect that really works with these powders. It goes really well. And also when we're heating it, I'm going to heat from above, because even though we have those large particles on there, and normally we would heat from underneath with large particles so that we don't send them flying with the air from the heat tool, but because we've used glue stick, they're really well stuck down, and we can actually go in with the lowest setting of the heat tool and just heat from above, and we'll get the perfect melting for them. So I'm not quite sure how much of that bubbling up that you can see when I'm heating it from above, but look at the stunning results. You've got sparkle in there, you've got the ultra high particles, whether it's like the copper or whether it's the black in them, but really gorgeous. And spreading them out across the card with all of the different colours just gives a really lovely effect. And you're catching all of those different sort of finishes across the card as well. Now this one, a little bit messy where some of the powder may have sort of blown off as I've been heating it, but very similar to the original background that I created as well. I think we'll go with this one to create the card. And we're going to turn it into a Valentine's Day card, a nice masculine sort of Valentine's Day card. So I've actually got this gorgeous love die from Sue Wilson, and it has these debossing kind of details in the letters. I'm not sure how well it's going to pick it up, but they've got like debossing like lips and hearts, and the other two have got arrows and little kisses in as well. And all I'm going to do is layer up this olive green colour onto white to give it a little drop shadow, add it to a torn piece of vellum across the middle, and I'm also going to add a little wordie that says Happy Valentine's Day, and it's from the Be My Valentine set of Wordies. So there we have our super duper, pretty quick and easy masculine style Valentine's Day card using the gorgeous Foraged Relics quad of embossing powders from Seth Apter with the gorgeous olive algae, the honey lichin, the coal flare and the copper veil as well. Don't they just give such a gorgeous finish to the card? So I really hope you enjoyed this video with such a simple technique that can also be done in really bright colours if you want to go really funky with this technique as well. But really hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye!